Good afternoon. How you guys doing today? So a quick podcast. I just want to say this up front about the upcoming trip for the Dominican Republic. There's going to be a change for me. I apologize, and this is why I like to talk about these things early. But there was some recent events that took place, and it kind of reminded me of why I left the Dominican Republic, and absolutely has nothing to do with the people, the Dominicans that are there. Has more to do with the Americans that are there, and the event that took place just reminded me of why I left the Dominican Republic. And the last time I was there was in February of 2020, just before the pandemic and all that went crazy, right? I was supposed to stay a month in Bay Vista. I ended up leaving early because it's one of those epiphanies that you have, like, what am I doing here? And I ended up moving my ticket up earlier, and then I left and came back to Colombia. But that was the last time I was in the DR. It was in February of 2020. I actually, after thinking about it last night and being reminded of some things, that I just don't see me going back to Santo Domingo. And I also want to say it like this, for those of you who have never been to Santo Domingo, and you watched videos I've done in the past, and you were curious about a lot of things, a lot of you guys are going to want to go and hang out in areas that you saw on video, maybe talk to people that you've seen on video and whatnot. But for me, honestly, I'm just not about it. Honestly, if I never see those people again, it wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't bother me at all, just speaking honestly. So for me, it's a situation where I'm just not interested in going back to that in the Dominican Republic. If I were to go back to the Dominican Republic, I would want to basically just be in the Pantini, Bay Vista, Santo Domingo Estates area, because I know that's an area, and y'all know I say this, is going to price out a lot of people that I know I will never see over that way. Just being honest. But instead of the Dominican Republic, maybe Cancun, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. I was actually talking to Big Moose this morning about this. But as far as Dominican Republic goes, though, bro, I can't do it. Not Santo Domingo. I can't do it. Unless I'm strictly going to be in a particular area that I talked about earlier, I can't do it. But I know that a lot of you guys who have never been are going to want to go see the Colonial Zone. You're going to want to go into certain areas in Boca Chica, and that's cool. Do you? But for me, it's like, no, I'm not interested in running across anybody that I knew in the past that does not have my number, that I don't talk to now. I'm just not interested at all. Okay. Now, one of the other reasons I came on were for two questions. Let me give a shout out to everybody real quick. What's going on, Barry? Mr. Lawson, how you doing today? Mr. B, you couldn't use the WhatsApp number. What do you mean you couldn't use it? Because everybody else reaches me just fine, Mr. B. You got to give me a little bit more on that. What's up, K-Mac? What's going on, Howard? Talking to Barry. Okay, you talking to Barry. Okay, cool. Okay, so quick question for you guys, because I got a comment from someone who invested in a company called Bent. Blessings in No Time. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of that. If you're in the if you're in the Dallas, Fort Worth area, you may have come across someone talking about Bent, Blessings in No Time, right? Young African-American couple. They were social media influencers, and they were selling or giving people an opportunity, I should say, the opportunity to invest. Well, here's the deal. It's a pyramid scheme, all right? And you know how pyramid schemes go. You take one person and they're supposed to recruit other people, and then they're supposed to recruit other people. And as they recruit more people, you're supposed to move up in the pyramid, right? So their pitch was give us $1,400, and in less than a year, you're going to guarantee to make over $11,000 on your $1,400 investment. Now, I first heard about this originally in the Dominican Republic. I remember this distinctly. I was in Boca Chica. I was doing day trading in Boca Chica. There was a guy that came up and saw my spreadsheet that I had out on my tablet. And he asked, are you investing? I was like, yeah, I'm actually day trading right now. He said, you ever heard this company called Bent? I was like, no. And then he pulled up a website, showed me what it was. And I questioned it off the rip because I'm like, how you investing $1,400 and you getting $11,000 back in less than a year by doing what? What are you investing in? And the website didn't give any particulars about anything, right? But one of the things that it did do was you had to subscribe to their board, which is their website, and it cost $85 a month for the basic plan. And then the plan went up in price from there. I forgot how much the maximum was, but I know it started at $85. So I'm like, wait a minute. You got to pay $85 to just monitor what's going on with your money? I said, no, dog. This is crazy. But anytime you're talking to religious people, because they sold it as a religion, right? Blessings in no time, Black empowerment, Black power, Black wealth. Anytime you talk in those terminologies and you use those buzzwords, you're going to get a lot of people's attention, right? African Americans, you're going to get a lot of their attention. And they're going to start wanting to put money into this because, again, these are young Black couple. They're talking about God. They're talking about empowerment, and they're talking about wealth. A lot of people, that's going to buzz a lot of people's interest right there. So let's fast forward to where we are today. So today, they're in court. They're being sued by the NFT. They're being sued by the state of Texas. And now they're looking at criminal charges for these people. And when you hear the story, right, and it's all over the news. If you just put in blessings in no time after this video, you can watch the whole thing from when they started and who they are to where they are now to what the current situation is and them potentially going to jail for this pyramid scheme, or alleged pyramid scheme. But I'm saying all that, man, because this lady hit me up and wanted to know if I had invested in this company. Hell no, because it sounded like a scam. You know, it sounded like one of those televangelists who's promising stuff that they can't deliver on. So I just wanted to say this morning, man, if it sounds too good to be true, it normally is, right? I don't care how much they talk about Black empowerment, Black wealth, investing back into the community. You better do your research before you put your money in. This lady put in $25,000 into this pyramid scheme, and the likelihood of her getting that money back is very remote, very remote. So there is no real quick scheme out there unless you're going to hit the lottery. Unless you're playing in a casino or playing a lottery, that's the only way. Because there is no investment I'm aware of, and you guys in the chat can help me out with this, where that's going to pay you 1,000% over what you invest, or 10 or 100% or whatever it is over what you invest. I know of none. To only put in $1,400 and you're supposedly going to get over $11,000 back in less than a year, that is too good to be true. Too good to be true. But then when you go to their website and then you got to pay just to see what your money is doing, that's another red flag. Okay? Who charges to check on your money? If that was something people did as a thing, the banks would be doing it. They would charge you like $2-3 just to check your account. And there are, matter of fact, banks that does this. Those secondary banks that I talked about in my last video. For those of you who don't know who got these secondary accounts, and you're being charged $1, $2, that's because when you go check your account, they're charging you to check your account. These are predatory lenders or predatory banks, right? They charge these people for everything. But hey, y'all want to travel like that? That's how you travel. But anyway, back to this. Be careful out there and where you park your money and what you put your money in. Because again, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. What's up, Life in North Carolina? How you doing this morning? Talking to Howard. You believe in that? I got some land on a nuclear site. Hey, it was plenty of people that did it, man. I think they got over, what was it, 33 million total that they're being sued for. It's like people believed it. I don't care if they say black power or white power or whatever. If it doesn't sound good, it's probably not. I'm just telling y'all, dude, there are key words that get certain people to listen and to invest. If you ever been in any marketing class or any sales course or marketing course, that's why these commercials and these companies always put these buzzwords out there and say buzzwords, right? Because it attracts certain people. Certain people hear certain things, they automatically going to pay attention. Well, in the Black community, Black empowerment, Black wealth, Black owned, Black business, blessings, really into religion, talking about God and saving the communities and so on and so forth. Those are buzzwords that a lot of people tune into. And when they tell these people to invest, a lot of them do park their money into these pyramid schemes and they get burned all the time. It's the reality of the situation. There's a sucker born every minute. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. And then the last thing we'll talk about real quick, man, before I get off here. And we've covered this before, right? And it's about family and friends. So I put out a short that has Steve Harvey on it, where he's talking about not loaning money to people who don't pay you back. Just give it to them and let them know that you don't have any more after you take this, that you're done. We still friends. We still cool. We still family. We can go hang out or whatever, but don't ever come back to me and ask for money. And I bring that up because there's a lot of veterans and a lot of people on Social Security who get it taken advantage of every month by family and so-called friends, because they know when you get paid. They know when you get paid, especially if you're a kind-hearted person, it's hard for you to say no. And we do have family, or we have siblings, or we have our children that take advantage of that. And then sometimes that puts you in a position where you can't do anything you want to do because your family is taking everything, right? There's so many different scenarios and situations that I get leave in the comment section where a vet's 100%, they got a child who doesn't have a job, and they're trying to support that child and support themselves, and they're only getting $3,600, $3,700 a month. And you're trying to take care of two different places. That is tough. I understand it's your child, and I understand your child may need help. But if you're like, you don't have a lot, how can you support somebody when you don't have a lot, right? You're making so many different sacrifices in your life that weighs on you now. Now you got stress. Now you got anger every time you see that person. So it is tough. And I don't know what to tell people in those situations other than, talk to your psychiatrist. Let them know what you're going through. Maybe they have a better solution for you. I honestly don't, for people in that predicament, because it's your child. You want to help your child, but also you want to live a life yourself. So what I suggested to him was, well, move me in with you. At least you're only paying rent in one place. If you move them in with you, instead of you trying to pay rent where you are and pay rent where they are. That I mean, that was about the best I could come up with to try to help them have some money every month. But also, man, don't just be around people because you're lonely or you got nobody else to talk to. And the only reason they're around you is because you're paying them or you're buying them lunch or you're buying them trinkets or whatever just to be around you. That's no way to be. That's not a true friend. That's not somebody who's going to be there when you really need them. So for anybody out there, man, if that's you, real talk, why are you doing it? There are so many different ways to make friends out there. There's no need for you to pay to have people around you. That makes no sense to me. I'm just saying, for me, that makes no sense. You know, if you want to buy somebody coffee or you want to take them to lunch, cool. But every time you go out, you got to pay. Every time you go somewhere, they're looking for you to fit the bill. That's not real friends. That's just somebody using you to get something out of you, right? So those are things, man. Those are still lessons, regardless of how old you are in life, that you're still learning. Even like, you know, you have the best intentions for people. And I'll admit here, I've gone through that myself here, where I've had someone, because here is on a much smaller scale. You know, it ain't like in the States. You get people come to you in the States, they want to borrow tens of thousands of dollars. It's like, bro, you need to go to the bank. Here is more on the $20, $30, $10. So I had two different people here, a situation here. I'll explain that real quick and I'll get up out of here. So I had one friend who come to me. She was like, I hate to ask you, but can I borrow basically equivalent of about $20? And I'll pay you back this Friday when I get paid. I'm like, all right, yeah, no problem. Because it's $20 and we ain't even talking about real money. And the Friday came, I completely forgot about it because this was on a Sunday. I completely forgot about it. She calls me. She says, hey, is it okay if I pay you Saturday? I don't have a chance to get with you today. It'll be the next day. Okay, cool. I didn't hear from her again for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, she hits me up. She said, hey, man, what we doing this weekend? You guys going anywhere? You guys doing anything? And again, I had completely forgot about it until Erica reminded me of it. And I went, oh, okay. So all I do, man, is I don't even bring it up. I never brought it up. She never said anything. I never brought it up. But she has never asked me for anything else since. And I don't expect her to. Okay? Because at that point, she should know I'm not giving her nothing else. Like, I'm still going to be cordial. I'm still going to be friendly. I'm still going to be the same person. But I'm never going to come out financially for anything else that person needs, period. And that's what I love that he spoke about, because that's exactly what I do. If you ask me for a loan, right, and I know you, I've been knowing you for a while, you ask me to borrow money, I'm going to loan it to you, depending on how much it is. Now, if you're in the States and you asking me for $20,000, you out your damn mind. You need to go get a bank loan. But if you're in the States, you say, I need to borrow, because my limit is usually about $1,000. You tell me you need to borrow $500, $600. Okay, cool. Here you go. You tell me when you're going to pay me back. You don't pay me back, I'm not going to worry about it. Because I look at it like losing money in a casino. I'll blow that in the casino. Okay, so you just blew my casino money. You ain't never got to worry about getting nothing else from me. But again, it's got to be somebody I've known. I'm just not saying some Joe Blow walks up to me and just asks me to borrow money. I'm just going to loan him money. No, it's got to be somebody I've known for a while. And I bring that up, man, because that happens a lot to a lot of different veterans and a lot of different Social Security recipients. And sometimes people don't have that extra cushion. They'll lend that money out expecting it back to cover bills, and they don't get it. Don't put yourself in those predicaments. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. All right, Mr. Lawson, who else we got here? Good morning. How you doing? False teachings of the gospel of wealth. So sad. Oh, yeah. They do it all the time. What's up, man? How you doing? I think we all been there, but I cut it off at the jump. Yeah, you have to. You have to, because you have some people that will use your kindness every month as part of their income, right? I mean, I've told you guys a story of vets that were DR, that were in Mexico, um, blow all their money within the first 10 to 12 days. Matter of fact, what's today? The ninth. They probably down to their last $100 right now. And it's the ninth day of the month. And they will go to other people that they know and they say, hey man, let me borrow $500 to the first. Or let me borrow $300 till the first. That's a sad way to live, right? But there are people out there that do it every single month. So I'm just saying, man, from me, and I put that message out there on the short, let it go. Let them go. The only way they're going to learn is to let them go. Don't let them use you as part of your income. Because I refuse to do it anymore. I did it for a while thinking I'm helping people by doing it. You're not. You're just making them more dependent on you every month. And that's not something I wanted to be. I don't want to be somebody coming to me every month. Hey, man, let me get that 500 again that I just got back from you. And you borrowing it right back again. So it's like, no. I didn't want to do that no more. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to make sure I made that announcement about the Dominican Republic early before people started looking at buying tickets and staying at the hotel. I just don't see me going back being around that environment in the Dominican Republic. That's cool if that's what you're about, do you? But for me personally, that's just not what I'm about. You know, the last thing I'm gonna talk about, dude, is and I mentioned this before, and I actually have a video on my other channel about this, is WhatsApp groups. I don't do WhatsApp groups. There's just too many people, in my opinion, especially males, who are immature. They just want to send naked photos of girls and videos all day long. And it's like, are we 16? Are we freshmen in college? What are we doing here? Right? And I'm being dead serious with you guys who are unaware of this. When you're normally in these WhatsApp groups with these grown men, and we ain't talking about kids in their 20s or young men in their 20s and 30s. No, we talking about probably 45 up to 75, 85 years old. We got old grown men who will send each other naked photos of girls and videos all day. All day. And it's like, I don't, what the hell I'm getting out of that? I've seen a naked woman before. Hell, I just saw one last night. Why do I need you to remind me every 10, 15 minutes of what a woman looks like with no clothes on? I don't need that. But that's what a lot of times what these WhatsApp groups turn out to be. It's like recruitment for predators, in my opinion, because it's like, what other purpose is there to sit around and send this stuff out all day long, every day? For what purpose? What are you getting out of it? I have no idea why grown men, and again, I guess it depends on the person and the environment that you're from and how you grew up and what interests you. That stuff doesn't interest me. You know, a lot of times when people come to this country, or you say where you from, and I'm sure you guys who live overseas get this a lot. You say, oh, where you live? Oh, I live in Medellin, Colombia. Man, I bet the women out there are something else. If the first thought on your mind when I say Medellin, Colombia is the women, we done talking at that point already. What else we got to talk about? Because I already know what your whole conversation is about. We got nothing else to talk about. Nothing. And that happens quite a bit. Whenever I went back to the States and I say where I live at, that's the first, man, I bet the women out there, yeah, you have to look online to see for yourself. I don't keep pictures or nothing like that to show you, to try to entertain you. For whatever reason, that's what some people are into. I just don't get that. And then with the WhatsApp groups as well, some of the other things that they talk about, the underage pricing and whatnot, again, that's not something I'm into, dude. I'm an adult. No, I was a teenager. I was a freshman in college. I was an E. Wait, when I joined the army, I was an E3 in the army. Been there, done that, you know. But as an adult, I'm not interested in that. So again, for the WhatsApp group and the invites, y'all can keep that. You know, spread that among whatever predators or incels or uh, people who haven't grown up yet that don't know about the female body. That's what you're into. Continue to do you. But that stuff does not move me. Okay. Showing me something that you've been with as if I want to be with her is like, no, dog, I'm not into that. Keep that for yourself. Let's see. I always tell them go to payday loan. Yeah, they better leave them payday loan. That's a good way to lose everything. Them payday loans. This is sad. It's true. They do this on Facebook too. As I blocked them. Yeah, I'm not, man. I'm telling y'all, real talk. There are a lot of people that I know that I'm not friends with on Facebook. And that's because I'm not into weed like that. Like I got cousins whose Facebook photo is just a leaf of marijuana, or they out doing all kind of crazy stuff, and I'm like, I'm good, bro. But the first time one of these Facebook groups get busted by the FBI or whatever country they in for underage girls or whatever criminal activity they doing, my name will not be associated with any of it. I'll tell you that right now. There's no phone that I have that's got photos of naked women on there that came from anybody. Not into none of that stuff. And I'm telling y'all to be careful with that, because you don't know where these pictures are coming from. Do you know the age of the girl that they're showing you? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. But most don't care. This is what they're into. So really don't fall for whatever it is these people are telling y'all, man. Don't fall for it. Please don't. Don't get yourself caught up in situations that don't make sense. That don't. And for my man J Love, J Love be tripping, but my man J Love said something the other day, because I put a video out on my other channel, Day in the Life, and I was showing you guys the flooding here that happens, because next month, at the end of this month and next month is rainy season, and it's going to rain a ton here. It's going to, a ton. Now, there are areas here that are being promoted online, and I'm telling you guys, where I'm showing y'all these videos of flooding, the streets being flooded, the guy on the motorcycle, the motorcycle is buried. You can't even see the motorcycle, and he's trying to pull it out off of a street. Those are the areas people are telling you all are super cheap and to move in. Why do you think they cheap? They cheap because they're flood zones. These apartments that are super cheap, they're in flood zones. That's why they priced the way they are. When it's nice like now, it's not bad. You can go out and go everywhere and do everything, and you're paying $140, $150 a month. But come April, the end of this month in April, they're gonna put out more videos if the electricity and the internet still work than you ever seen, because they won't be able to leave their apartment. The water is going to be either waist high or chest high. Because you got to remember, here in Medellin, this is a bowl. We're in a bowl, right? And the cheaper you are, you at the lowest point of that bowl. The more you spend, you at a higher point of that bowl. So the water runs where? Downhill. And as it runs downhill, it's going to find somewhere to settle. And for the people on the bottom of that hill, that's where that water settles. So when they go outside and they look down there and they see a car is buried, why do you think it's buried? Flood zone. So you guys be careful out there of advice from people who are always on the cheap end, always looking for deals and bargains and the cheapest and the least expensive. You get what you pay for, as the saying goes. Instagram is really bad and horrible than Facebook. I'm on Instagram, dude, but I'm not on none of that. No, I can tell you one worse than that. TikTok. I got a friend who's on TikTok, and she had me become a friend on TikTok. And bro, all the attachments that came from her, I don't know how TikTok algorithms work. I don't know if it's like YouTube. Well, I guess it's like YouTube. Like if you click onto something, it'll try to show you something similar that you may like. So when I added her as a friend, bro, they might as well just be porn sites. Every other girl that came up after that, bro, off the chain. Off the chain. I was like, wow. So I don't even mess with TikTok. I recently started looking at TikTok again because my man Mike's on there. He does his grown folks talk. But if you think Facebook and Instagram something, you haven't seen TikTok, because TikTok is off the chain. I do not use Facebook. Okay, let's see. Mexico. Did you hear about people getting killed? Oh yeah. Yeah, we talked about that on Mike's live. When was that? 2 days ago? Where there were 4 African Americans in a minivan. 2 got killed and 2 ended up in the hospital. Now, I don't know the whole story, the full story about what happened, how they ended up going to Mexico from North Carolina. There's a lot of speculation out there. I'm sure eventually it'll come out as to what happened, why they were going to Mexico. But that's a sad situation, man. Sad situation. One other story, I don't know how familiar you guys are with this, but there was a judge in Brazil, doing his thing in Brazil. And again, what grown people do behind closed doors is their business. But anyway, had 2 Brazilian girls, ended up getting kidnapped, ended up having to pay a ransom. And here's how they starting to get a lot of people, because once, and you'll notice this, it's a pattern. Once something happens in Latin America, in one country, it happens all throughout Latin America. They're going to try it everywhere. So one of the things that's going around now is people putting on police uniforms when they're not police. Okay. I told you guys about this, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Some American guy came here with a lot of cash. I think it was $5,000 in cash, and just voluntarily told the police this information. The police called 2 buddies that weren't police officers, had them dressed like police, came and escorted this guy supposedly to his Airbnb. They robbed him, took everything he had. With this judge, they ended up getting, I think, about $36,000 out of this judge. Right? So it ain't all peaches and creams as it sounds or made out to be. It's really not. There's a lot more that happens that people never hear about, or they hear about and they'll go, "Oh, it'll never happen to me." Okay. Okay. Do not go to Colombia if you do not know anyone there to show you around. It doesn't even matter if you got people to show you around, K-Mac. It's all about what you into when you get here. There's been people who've been living here for years. There was an old guy, right, around the same time that Asian dude got killed in November of last year. There was an older guy. He was in his 70s. Was he in his 70s? Yeah, he was in his 70s. He had his nephew live below them. They were both living in Laureles. Okay. Same girls have been seeing him, I think, they said in the paper, 2 or 3 years, until one day they decided they were going to rob him. So what do? They drugged both of them. They robbed both of them, took everything. The old man ended up dying. Now, they had been living here for years. So just because you know people here, that don't mean nothing. That doesn't mean anything. The old man knew these girls for the longest time. That doesn't mean anything here. That means absolutely nothing. Anytime you all start to get comfortable believing that because people are here, they know, yeah. Once you get comfortable here, that's a mistake. I've been living over 6 years. I'm never comfortable. Never. I'm always vigilant. I'm always looking around. I'm always paying attention, and I'm always listening. because it doesn't matter who you know here. It really doesn't. There's tons of examples of that. What's the dude from Rich? What's his name? I don't know his name. I've never watched his channel. But that guy had been messing with someone here for the longest time. He came here one weekend to see her. She drugged him, robbed him. He was shocked. I don't know why you're shocked. Because again, it ain't about who you know, it's what they need. If they need something and you got it, and they can figure out a way to get it, they're going to get it. The other part of that is you might as well just go back home with your losses. Because if you're going to the police here, if you think like in America, you get robbed, you call the police, they end up catching the people, they help get your stuff back in some cases, or you charge it to your insurance. Cool. Here, they don't give a damn you got the pictures of the girl. They don't give a damn you got the phone number for the girl. What you think gonna happen here? What do you all think happens here? Real talk. What you think the police got time to worry about tourists who got robbed? I'm just being honest. Y'all think they got time to worry about that? With all the other stuff going on in this city, y'all honestly think this like in America? Okay, we're going to investigate. They're going to give y'all lip service and move the fuck on. So that laptop you brought, those phones, your chain, your earrings, whatever else you brought that you lost, it's just gone. It's gone. It is gone. You ain't getting it back. Unless you get extremely lucky, you ain't getting it back. Unless you paying a ransom or you using it as collateral until you go get cash, they may give it back. But most of the time, you ain't getting nothing back. Nothing. I mean, all the robberies and stuff that happen here, dude, you would think people would know that by now. And they still don't. They still don't. It's like here, bro, this is a different world. This is truly a different world than what anything that you're accustomed to in America. It truly is. I've been living here for the long, and I still don't understand a lot of the stuff that they do. For example, here, I guess it depends on the robber, because some robbers will just take your stuff and then they walk away. Some now are actually beating people up, or they killing them and taking their stuff and leaving. So the pattern has changed. It used to be just give them your stuff. They don't want to take your life. Just give them your stuff and go. Not so much anymore. Now, it depends on the gang too, because there's a lot of training gangs that just beat up these guys and take their stuff. But then there are guys out there too that just kill them. They just kill you. So I don't know. I'm not in that world. I'm not out there like that. But hey, that's what y'all like to do. That's what y'all do. They were from North Carolina, as that was crazy. Yeah, they drove from North Carolina, and I don't know why they picked that part to go to. They're not going to do. No, the police ain't doing nothing here. Yeah, if you counting on the police here to do what? To do what? I don't know what it is people think the police gonna do here, but it ain't America. This ain't America. Your best bet is to have yourself some renter's insurance or your homeowner's insurance that you can file a claim with to get your stuff back. You shouldn't expect the Colombian government damn sure not gonna give you no rebate or reimbursement of anything. That ain't happening here. I can say you the trouble of thinking, well, if they take it, maybe they'll get no, they ain't giving you nothing. Nothing. Okay? They giving you nothing. All right, guys. That's gonna be it, man. I appreciate everybody watching. And again, not gonna make it to the DR, bro. That's just not somewhere I want to go. For those of you that's going, hey, go have yourself a ball, enjoy yourself. Make sure you stay somewhere that's got a generator, that you at least have air conditioning, not an NV Solar, not them damn car batteries. That shit is worthless. Make sure you take your ass somewhere they got a real generator. Okay. Something that you hear turned on, generator, not car batteries. That's only going to turn on lights and a fan for so long. That's not a generator. All right. But all right, guys, that's it. I'm out. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your day.